Okay, I'm a minute late, but let me just grab some stuff out of the pressure pot and I'll be right there. Alright, let's go. Hello! I just have a few things I need to unmold before we can make some more dice, because I need these molds. So let's get these going. I'm gonna work on some flower themed dice today. I got a whole bunch of flowers recently. Ooh, that's kind of a fun D4. I like the colors on that. It's kind of sunrisey. Fiddle. Pretty blues and a couple orange. Oh, got my resin scraps. Oh, it looks like I did actually have enough. I was worried that I didn't have enough resin on this one. This is hopefully going to be a little bonus D4 for... Oh, that might actually be good. A little bonus D4 for bosuns. Set. I am curious to see how those turned out. The last set didn't turn out perfectly just because of how we were trying to get this stuff to sync, but I have high hopes for this one. Oh, for you? Yes, I'm pulling out the set that I poured last night, so we'll see how they look. Since the other ones, the first set that we did, the black didn't really sync, so I went and did it in the traditional way with white alcohol ink to make the color sync. I'm hoping that it didn't turn it too gray or anything. But yes, I was pulling out I think it might actually have worked okay, because I've just pulled out this D4 that was... Oh, come on, it never wants to focus. Come on, you can do it, camera. I know you can. Come on. Alright, just a second here. Oh, I don't have my planner down here. I'll grab something else. Let's see if I can get it to show up. There we go. I was just saying, a little bonus D4. I was worried last night when I poured it that I didn't actually have enough resin in there, so I'm glad that it turned out. And it gives me high hopes for the other ones. As long as there wasn't a ton of air bubbles caught in the chain or something. Here, this is some different D6s for a different commission. Cool. And D6 up. Alright, well let's, here. Bam! Hello, I am just unmolding some things so that I have molds to actually make dice tonight. Weird. All of the D4, I use these little crystal D4s as my dump molds, so they always turn out kind of... It's your birth week! Ah, happy birthday! If it'll... Never wants to focus. There we go. He has different colors in there. Yeah, little dump molds. I think I did do an extra D20 this time too. D4. I sorted through my molds and had them actually like by type now? Okay. Well, here, let's pull out one of Bosun's and see how it looks. No, doesn't look like there's any big gaps or anything at the top, so that's a good sign. That was something that actually came up with the last set that I made. A couple of them had voids at the top. It's also your birth week. Happy birthday to you as well. It's next Saturday, but you're making a Lord Osmosis decision that it starts now. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your job stuff. Hey! Your guys' birthdays are so close together, you could have joint birthday parties as a kid. Like, that's how close together your guys' birthdays are. Growing up, my brother had the same birthday as a family friend. Yeah, it's more gray. I did more subtle gold glitter and foil this time. Here. So many opinions about December birthdays. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I think I have a cousin whose birthday is either Christmas or like the day before or something like that. Yeah. Just a second here. See if I can get this to show up and I'll show you. Yeah, see? I cut down on the gold foil and the glitter a little bit. It's definitely still there, but it's still a little bit. Yeah, the problem is that if you look at the top, the white ink turned it gray instead of black. Yeah, see, that's gray. What do you think on that? There's that here. Let me clean off this mold so there's not just black all over it. So yeah, I need to think on how I'm gonna get that the black ink to sink without it turning gray. Oh, there's a bubble in this one. What is that? Just a second, there's a little piece. You might commission yourself funny birthday dice because you think you deserve dice now legally. Alright. Like birthday themed dice or just dice for your birthday? I am very happy. D12 down. Let me set this right here. I have sort of a waiting list for commission dice at the moment. Since I have 5 going, which is, I try to have like 5. That was the D12. That was the D12. Bosun. Let's see. Your buddies will soon open their dice for Christmas. You can't wait to steal their kneecaps. I'm excited to hear how that goes. If you tell me, you don't have to, but I hope they like them. And let's see. Dice for your birthday. You just have to nail down aesthetic. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There's so many options. Okay, here's 20. This is one that was made with those same colors from before. You know, I don't know if this is weird for me to say or what, but I feel like I don't necessarily have as wide of an audience as some other dice makers, but I feel like I have a very loyal group of people who buy dice from me. If that makes sense. I definitely have, you know, new people reaching out and stuff, but it makes me very happy that you guys are like here every week. Like, it's Very cool of you guys. This up. And I really appreciate it. Alright, let's pull out the D4. I'll do the D20 from your set next here, Bosun, because I'm curious about that one. I do like the base of these better than the previous set. The other ones were a little bit more like kind of sparse on this side, and I went and actually made some black resin to put on the caps, and I feel like it looks better. Ooh, I do actually like the D4. It does have some gray to it, but let me see if I can show you. I feel like it has some, gives it some texture almost. There's the D4. Yeah, it has some gray, but I do think that looks cool. And I'll send you photos after this, Bosun, of all the dice so you can see. I figure we'll probably want to try it once more though to see if we can get it more black instead of gray. But I'll leave that up to you on what you would prefer. D4 down. Okay, D20. Let's see how the D20 looks. Oh man. Just a second, this thing's a mess. Alright, let me see if I can. Yeah, see, mostly the white went down on this one. Yeah. Yeah. I like the D4, but this one, yeah, it's like the white for some reason is what. I mean, I guess it makes sense that the white sank because that's what you put in to sink, but it's like it didn't carry the black with it very well. See, it's more gray. And it just kind of pulled in the bottom, or in the top. Come on, focus. I can kind of see, there you go. Yeah, see, it turned gray again. I feel like it does add some kind of cool contrast to it, but it's not the color that we were going for. Get some of this black out of here. Alright. Oh boy, the alcohol ink when I do Petri dice just gets everywhere. Kind of half mixes with the resin on the outside and just kind of makes it like little crusty bits. Now stuck under my nail. Alright. I am going to be working on some commission dice today too. I had someone request a set with roses in them, and the red dice, like the resin red with roses in them. And I just got the flowers that I ordered in, so I'm going to make those, and then I got some other flowers too, some other dried flowers, so I kind of want to try something with them as well. I figured we'd look through the box and decide on what to use. I was thinking of doing another set of kind of milk bath dice where it's kind of milky and you can kind of see the flowers through it, but maybe with some sort of brighter colored flower than I did last time. Or doing something that has some sort of pretty flower, maybe some like gold foil or something, a little bit of glitter. So many options, guys, so little time. But yes, I'm going to do the set of commission dice with the roses and then 2 other floral sets of some sort. But like I have my molds and they're covered in flecks of black at the moment. Alright, that's better. Some of my molds did a weird, like the last time I made molds, they went kind of funky. Like the lids ended up kind of funky. They like domed strangely. So I'm gonna be remaking some lids. That one's not too bad. Oops, this is in the wrong spot. Stack those in the right spot. Oh boy, I can already tell that this is gonna be soft at the top. Yeah, that's the problem with that. Yeah, that's an issue. Put way too much ink in here. This is what happens when you put way too much ink in a Petri. Yeah, I didn't really cure quite right. If I leave it a couple weeks, it'll be fine. I've noticed when there's too much alcohol ink, it's very sticky. But if I leave it for a while, it turns out okay. But this is probably just gonna, yeah, I'll set this over here for now, out of the way. I'll put something else in here and get some of that black out. Another D6. I'm probably going to make some molds on stream at some point coming up. I ordered some masters for pipped D6s, so they'd have the dots on them instead of the numbers. Because someone requested those. And so I have those coming in at some point, and I figured I'd probably make the molds on the string. D6 down. Yeah, yeah, that's so weird. What if I need to do this when it's slightly, again, it turned gray. It has the black, but it's like not dragging the black with it. I need to think on that. Yeah. It has a good black base and then only the whites falling down. I might reach out to a couple dice making folks and see if they have any insight. Sometimes it'd be like that. Yeah. They do look cool, they're just not what we were going for. Like, they do still look cool. It does still look cool. But it's just gray instead of black. Alright. Like I said, I'll go see if anybody has any insight. A couple of dice making groups I'm in. But I'll probably take a short break from these dice while I figure that out. I did have an idea about how I could add some gold glitter to the black ink if I put some black ink into like a container and then added some mica powders to it, or some gold mica to it. I could probably do that. I think it would just kind of make it'd just be a mess though. Trying to put the ink in a different container and then use that container to then drip the ink. And the D6. Yeah. Yeah. It does look cool. Oh yeah. He is the gray. Okay. Well, those are out. Let me grab the things for today. I'm gonna need this tray too. So what's everybody else up to today? I haven't done a ton today. I feel like Saturday's kind of my chill work day. So I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. I've given myself Thursdays and Sundays off. But as far as days that I'm working go, Saturday's usually like the chill one. It's my day to just kind of work on whatever I want to. My experiment day. You know, I was just about to say that I should get out more, but no one should get out more at the moment. I was like, I don't have anything to talk about. I'm not doing anything except for making dice. But no one's doing anything at the moment. Ah, it's stuck to my hand. No! Okay. Ah. A mood, I want to get out more. Hey, I actually walked to the end of the block yesterday, day before yesterday. I actually went on a walk. Let's see, what's happening in my life? Well, let's see, my therapist said she doesn't think we need to meet as often because I seem to be happier. And that's, if that says anything. Had lunch with my family, since they're the only people I see. It's my mom and my dad and my grandma. And well, I live with my brother. But, I need to wrap Christmas presents. I need to finish making Christmas presents. I did start, I was making sets of dice for both my parents for Christmas. And I did, like, start sanding my mom's earlier today. And I realized that, like, somehow all, like, the numbers are not aligned right on hers. I don't know how that happened. Alright. Let me show you what I got. I'm chilly. There's no vent in this room. It's kind of weird. So, I don't have a... It doesn't really... It's kind of cool in here. It's not terrible, but it's kind of chilly. Alright, let me... You guys want to see Fitz before I grab stuff? Because I can hear him yelling. I feel like we don't see Fitz as much as we see Not. Just a second. Hi, buddy. You can come in as long as I'm holding you. Alright. Yes, hello. Hello, buddy. Look, it is the baby. It's a Fitzy boy. He's a Fitzy boy. Hello. Hello. He's very upset that I'm not letting him go explore. I'm going to be working with resin. You're not going back behind. Okay, you're going back out. He is a gentleman and a scholar. Actually, you are neither of those things. I mean, you're a boy, but you are not a gentleman. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, buddy. Let me make sure that latches, otherwise he will work his way in here. I say that the only thing keeping him out of escaping the house is his lack of opposable thumbs, because he would absolutely try to leave the house if he could. All right. So the set that I am going to be, the commission set, it was for roses in red resin. And so I have, just like here, let me think. Which direction do I want to do this? I think I want to do it, I don't know if they're going to float or not. I don't know if they're going to float. I think I'm going to do them with the large number and gold numbers. That's the request. Red dice with roses and gold numbers. But and I have a pretty red color too. I'm just gonna do this nice, like, kind of brightish red. Maybe not as dark. I don't know. I do like this red though. Oops. I'm just debating. I'm vampire time. Oh, hello, Valerie's Mood. Thanks for joining us. I'm making flower dice today. I'm doing a commission set that has roses in it. I'm just debating whether I want to use a set of molds that have the high numbers at the top and ones at the bottom, because I kind of want these to kind of like probably rest with, so that they look like they would open towards the large number, but I don't know if they're going to float or not. They might float. I think I'm going to do it with the large numbers at the top, so that I can place these in the bottom of the mold and then add the resin. So let me just grab a set. Where's one of the ones that... how bad is this? It's not great. I need to make the lids for a whole set of molds. I don't know why they just did not turn out. D20, 12, 4, 8. Ah! They all stuck together. All right. Okay. So let me just find some good sized ones here. I haven't opened these yet. Well, here. You can see I have. Well, let's pull some out so I can show you. I haven't opened these yet, so I'm kind of excited to see what's in here. I mean, I can see, but like, see how well they held up. I'll set that over there for now. They smell nice. They smell like roses. I actually have had some dried roses already, because I have roses in my backyard. And I had some small ones that I had like pulled and then dried. Oh boy. Oh, these are pretty. So these are all like rosebuds. Oh, they smell lovely. Let me just see if I can show you guys a handful here. So, if it'll, there we go. A whole bunch of roses. They look cooler toned on the screen. They always look cooler toned with this webcam, I've noticed. So there's a whole bunch of roses. And then I have, those are just called rose. These ones say rose crown. I'm not quite sure what the difference is. I think these are more open than those ones. So let's see. Well, they're a little squished, but... Oh yeah, these are a slightly different kind of rose, I think. They're a little, some of these are a little squished, but I think I could still work with some of this. Because I feel like variety would be nice. Question, would I be able to do dewdrops on roses? Like in dice, or just like adding it so that like there was a rose that had dewdrops on it? So there's those roses. And they smell nice. They smell like roses. In dice. I don't see why not. I feel like I could probably do... This is for your aesthetic dice plan. If they were like... if it was like a clear resin, I could probably do like a really, really light blue and add some like drops to the outside of the roses so it looks like there's it, and then put them in. I could see that working. I'm not, 100% on that, but I feel like that would be doable. Just make it a slightly different color. And then this is just rose petals, little tiny rose petals. So I'm gonna go through these and find which ones I want for which dice. It's like the smaller dice are obviously not gonna have the big ones, and the big dice are not gonna have the teeny tiny ones unless I do like a big one and then a teeny tiny one. I'll set these off to the side, and then I'm gonna show you what else I got, because I got a bunch of dried flowers. Or just dried plants. It's not even dried flowers, but like, this is dried lemon slices. I don't think I'm gonna do those in dice today. Peppermint leaf, probably not gonna do that in dice today. These might be pretty. Calendula officinalis. It's nice. Like I said, it's cooler tone for you guys. It's a very bright orange for me. Very, very bright orange. So that's an option. Chamomile. These are a little crushed, but still doable. They're a yellow flower, and they're kind of small. Those remind me of some of the ones that I did in the set of terrarium dice I did. Chrysanthemum. They might be kind of big, but I feel like it might still be doable. Good yellow color, kind of a pale yellow. Ooh, these would be pretty. Red carnation. They're kind of a darker, muted red almost, but I feel like that might be pretty. Lavender, which is kind of purple color. White chrysanthemum, which is kind of an off-white color. Heliochrysum brachyterium. These are all sorts of different colors. They might be a little bit big, but I wonder if I could shove one of these into a D20, because these would be really pretty. They have a really good color on them. And then there's also, let's see, pink roses. Okay, let's see, pink rose, hibiscus. It's fall over. Hibiscus, which is like, it looks kind of brown-ish. It's probably a very, very deep red. Because I know that if you put hibiscus in like tea, it turns it very, very bright pink red. Green luo flower. They're kind of funky looking. See if you can see. Like the petal type things are very chunky. There we go. Yeah, those are a little funky. Not very like brightly colored. So I think I'm gonna do something brightly colored today. Ooh, and then purple Umphrena. I don't know that one, but this one might be. This might be an option. These are a nice bright purple. So let me put these back in here. I don't think I'm going to do these ones. I want something with a little bit of color. These ones are pretty. Again, not quite enough color for me. The hibiscus is a little too dark. I think these might be a little too big. Let's put those away for now. See what we got here. I think I have some better chamomile flowers upstairs. I don't really like chamomile tea. I like a lot of tea. I'm not a big fan of chamomile. This one here. Let's see what we've got for options. The lavender, I like lavender. It's, again, and it's a pretty kind of bluish purple color, but I don't know if it's bright enough for what I want. I want to do something bright. So I'm gonna narrow it down to these, I think, or some more of the red flowers. I was debating doing the commission set with the red resin and the flowers, and then also just doing it like a set that's clear resin with the red roses, just because I think that'd be really pretty. And then maybe doing, or I could do red roses and like a milk bath dice might be really pretty. That's where it's like kind of a semi-opaque white, and so the flowers just kind of show through kind of ghostly the colors a little bit. Maybe I'll do a set like that. Or I could do that with one of these. I just, Jen, one, yes, I feel like it is exciting to have all of these dried flowers. But also, I just got these off of Amazon. I was looking around for dried, small dried red roses, and that's where I ended up. It was like a highly rated multi-pack of dried flowers for not super expensive. And I'm leaning towards the red, but maybe I'll just do stuff. I think, you know what? I think I'm just going to do stuff with the red roses today. Because I have multiple ideas for things that I could do. Let's just do all the different ideas that I had. We'll do something else with these some different time. Put that off to the side. All right, let me find some flowers. Let's see, what do we have here? I'll use this one. Okay, that's there. We'll do kind of a milk bath, so kind of a milky white with the roses, so that they just kind of poke through. And then I'm thinking maybe a set that has some of the like rose petals and maybe some gold foil, or a little bit of like gold shimmer to it. I think one or the other. Maybe gold foil. I feel like that'd be classy, like just a clear resin with a gold foil and red roses. That sounds classy to me. So let me grab molds. It doesn't really matter. Wait, it doesn't matter. We're gonna use this one. 4, 20, and D12. Forget-me-not dice. Ooh, that'd be pretty. You're still musing for your nefarious plans. Your nefarious plans of getting dice. How nefarious. Let me toss this out. Alright. I'm gonna find some roses. Dice commission, nefarious. Oh, I have like, oh. I think I have a cat hair in my nose. My nose itches. Alright, let's look through these and see what we want to use. Man, my workspace is so not appealing with how messy it is. Alright, let's see here. What do we got? Ooh, that would be like, maybe something bigger like this for... Yes, the obligatory cat hair. Obligatory? Obligatory. There we go. I can talk. So let's see. What do I want to do? Can I even fit one of these in a D4? Let me see if I can fit one of these in a D4. If not... Yeah, the D4 I think is going to end up with just a rose petal. Unless... Or a couple rose petals, if there's not something smaller. I don't know that there is. These are all fairly good sized. Yeah. So the D4 I think is going to end up with a rose, a couple rose petals in it instead of a rose, which is fine now that I know that. And I feel like something like this might fit well in like a D6. Oops. Oh yeah, see, like, I feel like a single one of those fits well in a D6. That's a good size. So I'm gonna set this with the D6. And that size is probably gonna be pretty good for like a D8 and a D10 as well. And then the D20, I think maybe I might pull out this kind and try and do one that's a little bit more open. These are all kind of closed. There's spider webs in here. Alright, let me. You should commission some googly eye dice. That just dice filled with googly eyes. I think I've seen that before, which is fun. Yeah. Here's one that's open that's a little bit smaller. I wonder if I just worry that these might be a little bit too crushed for the D20. Like, do they look? Wait. Ooh, this one might be okay. Pack them in, they're abomination dice. Exactly. I think something like this. I just want to find some good ones for. Ooh, this is a pretty one. Let's see if I can show you. That one's pretty. They're just a little bit flat. They got squished in the bag a little bit. Maybe I should put that one in like maybe I'll put this one on like a D10. Oh, you can't even see where I'm setting them over here. Here, I'll move them so you can see what I'm doing. I just have. I'm just lining up which die the flowers are going to go into. Making me cry. I wanted to be like Grace Kelly. That would be pretty in, I think, the D12. That's a nice small one. Let's put that in like a D8. I do have this big rosebud too, but I don't think I'm going to use that one necessarily. There's this open one. It's getting kind of squished. It just kind of happens when you dry roses too. Like the petals kind of crinkle up a little bit, but they gotta be dry before you can. I wonder if I could do that and like a small one of these. Do like a open one and like a little rosebud. That might be cool if I could do that in the D20. I'll try it. We'll see. And then a D10. One of them has kind of an open one, so let's do a closed one. And the D4, roses and gold. I'm thinking that I'm going to try doing a set of roses with gold foil. I'm going to do the set with the red. Set with the red. I'm going to do a set with like a milky white, so you can just kind of see it through. And then I'm going to do a set that is clear with the roses and some gold foil, because gold foil just always seems classy. And I just want to make classy dice. Alright, let me figure out what's good. This is going to fit. Yeah, that'll fit in there. Now I have to get it out without breaking it. Okay. I'm going to try and break off the little tip there. Let's see here. These ones, I think I'm going to try and do more of the kind of open ones, even though they're a little squished. Just because I think, yeah, that's good for D4. Grab a couple of these. Because you won't see them as much, you'll just kind of see the color and the basic shape showing through. So there's the D20 for this one, I think. There's a good D10 or something. Let's see here. We'll do one of these. Other D10. Let's see what we got. D8 maybe? Let's see. The D12 and the D20 are always bigger. Maybe there's a D12. Again, D4 is small, so I'm probably just going to put a couple leaves in. It might even be too big. Is that a smaller leaf? No, it's too orange. That's not what I want. There we go, that works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And oh, and the D6. What do I want to do for the D6? Oh wait, here's a good size one. Yeah, this one has like spider webs in it. I think that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. Got those. And then let's do this set. This set's going to be the roses and the gold foil. Do I want to do just rose petals in that one instead of, and maybe like a, ooh, I think the one with the gold foil, I might just do a full rose for the D20 and then do just rose petals and gold foil for the rest of them. I feel like that would be kind of cool. Let me put these back. And then in that case, I might do like this large kind of semi-open rosebud in the D20. Maybe that. I think that'd be cool. So I think I'll just do like rose petals. Shredded rose petals and gold leaf. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I'll do like rose petals, like small rose petals in these. Except for the D20, in which I'm going to have kind of a full rosebud there. Second, trying to get all these back in here. Should I even open these rose petals, or should I just use some of these? Some good small ones here. Alrighty, got that. Roses and gold general magic, yeah. It's just so classy. And I just like putting gold leaf in things. Alright, put these away. And then we grab the gold foil. Oh wait just a second, there's all sorts of like seeds sort of things here from the one set of roses. I'll put those back in the packet. Did someone say roses and gold foil? Heck yeah, I did. That's the plan. This is gonna be red with roses. This one's going to be, yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. I just love gold foil. Like, it's just so pretty. It's so pretty, guys. All right. Let me get everything ready to go. Let me get my mixing cups. We'll be all set. All right, use that for that one. A big red here. There's a red. And that one's gonna be white. I might just, oh, that one's broken. That's going in the trash. I think I'm just gonna grab a new one for both of these, so I know that they're clean. Got it. Just add a couple flicks of this before I go. It's just easier to add it beforehand, I feel like. So we're gonna do 100 milliliters of resin because we're doing 3 sets, and each one takes 30, so that's 90. And we want a little extra. What should I do is the little extra for this one? I do actually want that. It's probably a couple rose petals. I should plan my bonus things now. There we go. And then do a crystal for a keychain, or should I do a little bottle? Might as well do a crystal. This one works. Set this one over here as well. Hopefully I have enough for, oops. And that one's gonna get probably broken up. I'm starting to realize that, like, it doesn't take a ton of gold foil to, like, look good. I feel like these ones that I made, like, it's actually, there's kind of very little gold foil in here, but it just looks nice, like it's kind of suspended but shiny. Yeah, but see, there's just like kind of small particles of it, and I feel like it really makes it so that I can see the other things in there too. If I added a ton, I think it would be overpowering almost. You can see the little bit of gold shimmer too. But, alright. And again, it's only 30 milliliters of resin for a set of dice, so that's like a full one of these. So, it doesn't look like a lot of foil, but it breaks up into small pieces, and there's not actually a ton of resin in a set of dice. I'll set it off to the side though, and if we want more, we can add more. Right, we've got that, we've got this, we've got that. I think we're all set to go. Let me put my respirator and my gloves on, and we can pour some dice. I feel like that was a much, I was gonna say, I feel like that was a much quicker setup than usual, but no, I still took an hour. That sounds about right for me. It always takes me forever to actually get started. Alright. Sometimes it
feels like I'm just like putting off actually pouring the resin. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because I don't want to put the respirator on because it's kind of annoying, or just general me being bad at starting things, or I'll just blame ADHD brain and move on with my life, I guess. Where's my... I opened the new bottles of resin recently, these new big bottles, and I could not smell the resin before, but I can smell it now. It's letting the love and care percolate into the dice. I just kind of second guess myself a lot on, do I have everything that I need? And then it just takes me a while to actually pour out the resin, because I know that once I get the resin out and mixed, I have a time frame that I'm working on. So I want to double and triple check that I have all of my supplies where I need them before I actually pour the resin. Alright, I'm gonna go quiet for a second. My normal, I can't talk and think about how much I'm pouring at the same time spiel. So, talk amongst yourselves, I'll be right back. That one. That's at 50, yep. And then add this one. Perfect. Perfect. And then there's our 100 milliliters of resin. And I just gotta stir it up, so that'll just take a minute. I really do want to make dice that people are going to be happy with. Like, that is my goal. Like, cause I want to give people the. When I started making dice, I first started out like asking D&D buddies and family and stuff like, hey, what would your dream set of dice be? And then I was making them for friends and family as both a way to like practice and just because it was fun getting kind of a general prompt. Like, I had one friend ask for dragonfly and fire themed dice, and then I was given free reign to just go and make whatever, which is a lot of fun. Also, I didn't feel bad if there was flaws on those, because it's like, you're getting these for free. Like, I don't feel as bad if it has some sort of minor flaw. But it really has I've kind of continued on with that mindset a little bit, wherein I'm like, what is your dream set of dice? Like, what is your, what what can I make that is going to be like the best out of what you're asking for. I really do. I really do want to make things as good as they can be. And I've definitely gotten better at it too. I've gotten better at making molds. I feel like I don't know if I've gotten better at sanding, but like that. Sanding. It has been nice with the tumbler. That does make things nice and shiny. Alright. But I like making dice. I've been trying to think, so I mentioned I think last time, I really enjoy making dice. I worry that it's going to be a bit of a fad. Just because I know like D&D kind of comes back in and out of style. There's always people that play D&D. Like, there's always going to be people that play D&D. I've played D&D since I was a kid, and I've never had trouble finding a group to play with to play D&D. But you know, it's become more popular recently, and I feel like handmade dice have become more popular recently, which is fun. I love seeing like the fun thing about everyone making handmade dice is that everybody's dice are completely different. So it's really cool seeing all the individual styles that people have. Like there's a couple other dice makers folks that I'll chat with sometimes, and like our dice are just so different. Scryer, who also streams dice, her dice are like so glittery and stuff. Like she does a lot of just like holographic, completely holographic dice. Very glittery, very pretty. Not anything like the dice that I make, which is just fun. It's kind of fun that we're all doing the same sort of medium but doing it completely different. But I was thinking the other night, like, what else should I make out of resin? Like, is there any other things that I should make? We were walking around the house. My brother and I were walking around the house the other night, and being like, what could I make out of resin? I'm like, candle holders. I think my favorite suggestion of his was particle accelerator. I'm like, yes, an excellent suggestion for something I should make out of resin. I was thinking it would be kind of cool if I could like make custom like video game controller casings or keyboards or something like that. Do like electronic casings and stuff. Like I feel like that'd be really cool out of resin. Like if you could get like a keyboard that had like looked like it was filled with flowers or something, that'd be really cool. Or it was just like rainbow, or so I have some ideas, but kind of want to stick with my shop aesthetic too. I do want to. I got a drawing tablet recently, and I'm gonna mess around with that. I think I'll probably mess around with that on stream at some point. I've messed around with it like for less than an hour, just making sure it worked and figuring out how to change some stuff. But I do kind of want to do like stickers and pins and stuff at some point. I think it'd be fun. I have an idea. I think it'd be really cute to do like a whole bunch of little potion bottles, but they all have different things in them, like a little terrarium or space or something like that. I feel like that'd make a cute series of stickers and pins. And it fits the brand of Alchemist's Attic. Got the kind of alchemy brand. It's all about the branding. It's all about the branding. I'm always looking for more ideas. I just like making stuff. And dice is fun because I can always make something new. I was having that conversation with my grandma earlier today. She's been using a Cricut, which like cuts paper and stuff. It's a machine for, you can put different designs into the computer, and then it'll cut the paper or t-shirt iron-on or whatever out. She's been doing like Christmas cards recently, but she's done a lot of custom shirts and stuff too for the family. but I was talking to my grandma earlier today, because she's always been a crafter too. My grandma and my dad, which is her son, have always been artsy people. That's where I inherited like all of the polymer clay that I have. I got from her because she wasn't using it anymore. But she was saying she has some artist friends, and one of them called her an artist once, and my grandma was like, "No, I'm not an artist. I'm a crafter," because she will have one thing and she will stick with it long enough to learn how to do it and then move on to something else. Pretty sure ADHD runs in the family. Side note. But I was telling her earlier today, because we were talking about it, that one of the fun things about making dice is that I don't think I will ever get bored of it, because there's always something new to try. There's like the possibilities are like limitless with what I can. I was gonna say endless and limitless at the same time, and it said limitless, and that was not a word. But the possibilities are just endless on what I could put in resin, and that's just fun. It's just fun. And that's why I like my new model of just making a whole bunch of dice sets and then releasing them the first Friday of every month as well, because it's more fun to just try new things and make new things. Which isn't to say that I won't make some of the same sets more than once. Like the galaxy dice that I make, those are a staple in my shop that I just keep there. And I'm kind of looking to see if there's any other sets that I might end up having like that, where they keep coming back. I kind of want to make more terrarium dice. Those were really fun. The ones that had the plants and stuff in them. But anyways, it's just fun. All getting to do something different every time. Okay, this is looking thoroughly mixed. Let me pour some of this into different containers. Alright, so I want most of the extra to be in the one that's for the commission, but I want just a tiny bit of extra in these as well. Oh, maybe I won't have a little tiny bit of extra because I need exactly 30, and that's how big this is. I guess here's a different. Wait a second. Let me pour this in though. I did mention in a previous. Let me pour all of these, and then I will start talking again. I had 1, 2, 3. 40. That's probably about 20. Let me check. Yep. Oh boy, that one's full. A little bit extra. Just a little tiny bit of extra. Okay, I think, okay. This might be a little bit of an issue. That's way too full. I need a bigger thing. Okay, we're doing these and these because I need more space to mix. And these hold like 40, 45 instead of 30. But those are just exactly 30, and there's not enough room to actually mix anything in. These are good for smaller amounts. Oh, here, I'll use that to hold my thing. And I'm gonna pour pretty much the rest in here. So, what I was gonna say is that, there's not actually, I mentioned it in a previous stream, but I did finish the voice acting class series that I was taking on via Zoom, which was a lot of fun, and definitely I can see how things there would be useful for different practical things, but because it was kind of it was a combination of kind of an acting class and a speech class to a certain extent. It was not just about like character work and stuff. It was about narration and commercials and that sort of stuff as well. But I'm debating saving up for like a nicer microphone to actually like record things. But I am not sure what kind of mic I want to get because I'm not sure what all I want to record. Because like obviously character stuff is fun, but I feel like I don't know. Do I want to record music? I like singing. Do I want to record like a podcast? So that might have different. I might have different things that I want to get if I'm going to do that. So I do think I want to try and save up for a nicer microphone, but I need to figure out what I'm going to use it for first. Am I going to use it for like video voiceovers of some sort? What's the plan? I gotta figure that out first. Alright, let's add one drop and then we'll see how that looks. Use this one. These are actually pretty good pigments. Like, they work pretty well. Just a little drop is a lot for changing the color. I think I'll probably add one more drop. Like, this isn't a bad red, but I do think that once I have it in a slightly smaller dice, it'll look almost too pink. I obviously want them to be translucent so you can see the flowers on the inside, but I want it to be dark enough that it reads as red and not pink. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I also want to make sure that it's mixed evenly. I still see some streaks. Alright, how's that looking? I think maybe one more drop. But no, now that I'm done with that class, I gotta figure out what I wanna do that's not just dice next. I might go back to like delivering food, like Saturday lunches via Uber Eats. So I did actually enjoy doing that, and I feel like that's a useful source of income, if that makes sense. Is that dark enough? I think that's dark enough. I think it's dark enough. I think that'll be fine. If I add one more drop, I'm probably gonna overdo it. I'll just clear the red that's up on the side there. I'll just mix that last little bit in. I don't know if it'll get too much darker than this anyways. white. I think that's a good red. I think that's a good red. Yeah, I'll drop the white to this one. And I'm using a white resin pigment and not my alcohol inks because I use so much of the white alcohol ink and I don't want to use it all up. So I use it for things. So this one. And this one, oh, is it attached to this? Okay, let me get the cat hair off of here. There's all this cat hair. It never ends. This is what I get for bringing my cat in earlier. I'm sure it wasn't that, but I'm gonna use that as an excuse for why cat hair is making it into everything. So this I'm trying to make kind of a semi-opaque white. One drop actually did a pretty good job. I don't know. I might put another drop in, like, this is probably where I actually want it. It's just, I don't know. I like it almost a little bit more opaque, I think, than other people do. There's another cat hair, just a second. Did I get it? No, I didn't. No, I did. Alright. There's another one. It's just these little tiny cat hairs. I think I'm gonna add one more drop of white. It might end up too opaque, but yeah, it's just a little bit too weirdly like, it's just kind of weirdly translucent at the moment. I think this is probably about what people usually call it. What if I no, I don't like it. I'm adding a tiny drop more. And that's it. I'm not adding any more, or it's going to end up way too opaque because I don't know when to stop. It's just weirdly translucent right now. I don't like the level of it. Like, it doesn't look quite white yet. It just looks kind of milk, like, it looks cloudy, not white, like semi-translucent white, if that makes sense. It doesn't, but I was going to say it does. There we go. That looks better. I like that a lot better. That looks a lot more crisp in its color, I feel like, than it did before. The other one would just look kind of weirdly semi-translucent. Alright, let's get our gold stirred in here. And I'm actually going to stir this one semi-vigorously because I want to get all of that gold broken up into kind of small pieces. I don't want it in super big pieces. I want it in like little tiny flakes that are kind of suspended in here. Yeah, I want it in smaller pieces. So I'm going to end up with a ton of bubbles in here, I can tell, but that's okay. I can knock some of those out. Come on, break apart. Okay, just a second here. Come on. This is like folded over, so it's all funky. I'm just going to pull that apart manually. Alright. Actually, I don't want doing that. Let me look at this. Is there a fold in there? No, I'm gonna add the rose petals and we'll see how it looks compared to the gold foil. That might have been too many. Oh well. And these I'm going to stir a little bit more gently because I don't want them to break up as much. Well, actually, you know, that might actually be a good mix. That looks like not a bad amount of rose petals to gold foil. So I don't black something in here. There's a really dark piece here. I'm just gonna pull out. Oh, it's a piece of like the part that's right next to the base of the base of the flower. Gotta go. All right, have a good night, Bosun. Thanks for stopping by. I'll send you photos if you, I don't know if they've already left, but I'll send photos later of the this set of dice so we can troubleshoot. But alrighty, I think that's a good kind of mix. That looks good to me. Alright, let's do the red first because that's the one that I need to get done most definitely. And I do need my tweezers for this. Because what I want to do is dip these in the resin first to try and get any air bubbles out. Because if I don't, like, there's still some air bubbles in there, but dipping it will help so that it will work into all those nooks and crannies. And then I'm going to try and shove this in here. I'm going to figure out how to do that. Alright. Gosh. And then I think I'm going to try to do like a little tiny bud next to that one in the D20. I think that'll look nice. Alright. Alright. There's those in the D20. Let's do the D12. You can kind of see some bubbles there. Yeah, let's see if I can. Yeah, I can see some of the bubbles here. I just want to. There, you can see a bubble rising to the surface. If I can. I just want to get that filled with resin. Before I put it into the mold. That's why I'm coating this first. I want to get all of those big air bubbles out. There's little tiny air bubbles, not at too big of a deal, just because I have a pressure pot, and that will kind of get rid of some of the smaller bubbles. But if there's big bubbles and I leave them, they might rise to the surface while curing. See, that's definitely floating. Oh, there's air bubbles in it. They might rise to the surface while curing and cause some gaps, and that's not what we want. There's definitely bubbles in this one. That's looking good, actually. Like, it's actually staying down now. Alright, I think I got most of the air bubbles out of here. Put this in the mold. I'm trying to put these in so that the top of the flower is facing towards the, hello, I am Fabbage? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, sorry. But, welcome. I'm making flower dice. These ones are going to be red roses in red resin. I am currently dipping all of the flowers in the resin before putting them in, so that I don't end up with big bubbles, because they get kind of, I don't want big bubbles to be in there, and I will end up with them. And hopefully that will do a couple things. One, I won't end up with any big gaps that are when I pull these back out once they're done, and two, hopefully they won't float. And I noticed with the last one that as I got bubbles to come to the surface, it did not float as much. And I kind of want them to like kind of rest at the bottom and then have like open upwards. But alright, yep, yeah. As I get the air bubbles out, they don't really float as much. That's good. Yeah. I just want to angle this. Don't want it facing downwards. That's not what I want. I want it facing upwards. Alright, there's that one. How are you doing tonight, I am? Do anything fun this week? That under there. Just a little speck something right here. What is on here? Oh, interesting. Just a second here. There's like resin filling in the number on this, which is super strange. I don't know how that happened. Alright, there we go. Oh yeah, there's some big bumps coming out of this one. Yeah, these ones are for a commission. The other ones are just because I think it would be fun to try out the roses in different ways, see what happens. So I'm doing a milk bath set where it's kind of a semi-opaque white with the roses, and then I'm going to do a set that has like rose petals and gold foil, because it seems classy. It just seems classy. This one's finally sinking, which makes me think that I've gotten most of the big air bubbles out. Ah, if I can grab it. Alright. I do want to get it so it kind of lies down a little bit. There we go, there's that one. Moving down the line. I did find out earlier that the D4 won't fit any of the roses that I have, so I'm just going to do a couple rose petals in the D4. Well, you know what, I'm just going to throw all of these in here for now. I'll let those kind of soak for a moment while I do the D4 here, because there shouldn't be as many air bubbles on the two rose petals. I would think, anyways. Shouldn't be. I still want to coat them though, so I don't end up with any gaps. Because air can still get caught. And actually it is. Why is it getting caught on there? And also this will hopefully help kind of keep things in place a little bit. Kind of stick it to the sides of the molds. And there's like a big air bubble in here. Why is that happening? It's just like caught in all the little tiny... You know, like when you put... Oh, hi, Chef Rex. You can smell the resin from here. Oh man, yeah, I recently opened a new thing of resin, and I could not smell my resin before, and I think maybe I had just gotten used to the smell, which is probably not good. Oh, hey, thanks for following. Yeah, and now I can definitely smell it now that I've opened a new bottle, and I'm like, oh no. Did I smell like resin all the time before this? Probably, and I just didn't realize. Alright, let's put that in there, kind of get that low. But yeah, so definitely has a scent to it that I'm now realizing. Alright, these still have a couple bubbles that I'm working out. Working bubbles out of the roses here. This one's starting to look better actually. No, there's a big bubble. Come on, rise to the surface. But I'm excited to try out the other flowers that I got too, but there was just so many options for the red roses that I was like, I'll just use them tonight. Not even open the other ones yet, because I have so many ideas just for these that I might as well just since I'm opening them already, I might as well use them. Alright, this bubble there. How's this one doing? I'll get most of the bubbles out of this one. This one's starting to look, oh, there's still a bubble under the, this one definitely still has bubbles. I'm just kind of pushing down on all of the little leaves and stuff. There's kind of these leaves around it. Oh, let's see, you usually use 2-part polyurethane clear coat for your model cars, and that smells, yeah. Oh, it smells pretty. This product contains chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects. Yeah, there's definitely a reason I wear a respirator for this stuff. I was very bad and did not when I first started working with resin, which was a couple years ago. I was not doing it every day like I am now. I was just kind of dabbling in resin. I was trying it out, and I definitely was not following proper safety procedures. So I'm glad that I have come to my senses and am wearing proper safety equipment now. I figured it's hopefully healthier for me in the long run. But that's cool that you do model cars. That's pretty cool. What sort of stuff do you make about them? Or are they like kits, or are these like kits that you build, or do you, I don't know, wood carve them or something? I'm always curious to hear about what other people are working on. That's part of the reason I like streaming, is I like it has kind of that feeling a little bit of like working on art projects with friends, which is something I always love doing. I love just all sitting around a big table. For 13 years you built plastic model cars. Cool. Don't do it as much anymore. But no, I remember as a kid just like pulling out all of the popsicle sticks and pipe stem cleaners and all that sort of stuff and throwing them all on the table and just like having like a crafting day sort of thing. I've always loved arts and crafts, and my mom was always great at that. It just like, here's a whole bunch of random stuff, go ham. That was always really fun. I think I did that for like my birthday party maybe at least once as a kid. Oh, you became a machinist and found your passion was building scale coal-fired working steam locomotives. Oh, they burn coal, boil water, and pull you around your local model engineering club track. That's really cool. You stream in your machine shop. Cool. I have a friend that loves model trains. One of my D&D buddies. Would probably be very interested in that. You streamed like 4 hours ago. Cool. I'll have to come check you out. You're working in the shop. Now you're just relaxing for the night, hopefully. Once you're done working your way around the Makers and Crafting page on Twitch. Yeah, this is 2-part epoxy resin. So I don't know how that varies from polyurethane resin necessarily. But it is what I am working with, and this is I think this is casting. It might be casting and coating, but this is more for casting than coating things. I think it probably would work for coating, but let's fill these. And I'm still getting some air bubbles here. We're gonna let these sit for a minute, let some of the air rise to the surface before I put the lids on, because I want to make sure that all of that air finds its way out before I try to pressurize them. Oh, cool! That's fun. Hanging out with friends and finding some new streams. I enjoy just browsing the Makers and Crafting page every once in a while to see like what are people working on. I'm always excited when it's like, you know, woodworking or sounds like fun evening. My only problem with like finding new streamers is that if I'm gonna watch someone stream, I am inevitably going to like talk way too much. Like I will talk way too much in the chat. I feel like it always makes me really happy when people come and talk in my chat, but also I'm just like, hi, I'm new. Also, I'm going to just say which is not saying you shouldn't do that, because I love it when people do that here, but like I'm just like, oh no, oh no. Oh IPA. Oh, I did not read that correctly. Yeah. Oh, when someone joins, there goes productivity. You know, I guess. Oh, that's what I was gonna say though, is that I watch probably more YouTube videos while I work than I do streams, because I'm like, I must interact if someone is streaming, and so it does not work out necessarily if I'm like pouring resin or something. But you like talking to people, yeah. Because I'm like, if I'm gonna watch a stream, I'm gonna watch it for the social aspect of it, to like go chat with people while they're working on things. And that doesn't necessarily work all the time if I'm working on something at the same time. Like this is a mess, so I'm not gonna be typing. Like but I do enjoy watching streams for that sort of stuff. Okay. You're the same, yeah. I feel like I think of like streaming as more of like a social thing, whereas like YouTube videos and stuff are more of an entertainment thing, if that makes sense. Like I like Twitch for like chatting with people, seeing what people are working on, for just this kind of social atmosphere. And I like YouTube videos for like the entertainment sort of thing. Oh, if you're in the zone, you won't stream. That's fair. Yeah, it definitely it does take a certain amount of like my focus to stream, because I am trying to kind of keep track of multiple things at once, which I'm not good at, because I'm trying to kind of hold conversations. It's kind of like when I have people over to my house. Well, I don't at the moment. Just want to put that out there. I don't have people over to my house right now, obviously, but when I did used to have people over to my house, I would go into like hosting mode, where I kind of felt like I had to keep everybody entertained to a certain extent, and so it makes it difficult to relax, which is not a bad thing for this, but if I'm, I definitely have part of my brain is thinking about what I need to do to keep the stream entertaining and engaging and running. If you're looking for a little company, want to goof off, drink tea, and relax after a day at work, then you'll stream. Yeah, there's an informalness to it. I can definitely see that. Yeah. I do really enjoy streaming. I'm always in like a better mood after I stream, I feel like. Alright, let me fill this one with a little bit of resin. Oh. See, if I want a cup of tea, I can't stream. I drink a lot of tea, but it's a little difficult with the respirator. Yeah, these last couple of petals. This set of dice is for a commission, so I like to include little extra things when people order a set of commission dice. I mean, I include extra things anyways, but like, just trying to build a little bit of a viewer base. Yeah, I'm working on getting to, well, here, just a second, let me finish my previous thought. I try to include like a few extra things when I have a set of commission dice, so I'll include like an extra dice, and then like usually a keychain. Trying to build a bit of a viewer base. I'm trying to get to 50 followers at the moment, so I can reach affiliate for a few different reasons. One of which is that I've had a couple people request that I make a emote of me making a really stupid face, and which you can see over here. That's from Halloween. But I make an emote of me making a stupid face, and I'm like, well, I've got to reach affiliate to make an emote, guys. So we gotta get there first. And then also, like, it'd be cool if I could actually have this as a source of income. That'd be cool. I don't know that it'll actually end up that way, but I just enjoy streaming. And then let's see, tea and airbrush usually results in a coat of cancer and birth defects on my tea. Yeah, I definitely was like spritzing. I do have a mug that has a small amount of tea in it, so I was drinking it earlier, but I definitely I use rubbing alcohol to pop the bubbles on top of the resin. Some people use like heat or like a flame, but I use rubbing alcohol because it breaks the surface tension, pops the bubbles, and I don't have it. It's not going to hurt my molds like the heat could. And I've definitely accidentally like sprayed that into my tea as well before, and I'm just like, man, I wanted to drink that. I still had some of that left. So let me replace these down. I have this little plastic tray that I put these on. It just works out well because the resin pops right off of it. What part of the floating rock slingshot around the sun are you? I'm from the U.S. If that's what you're asking. I'm not giving you my home address. We don't know each other that well. But yeah, I'm from the U.S. I'm over in Washington State, but so Pacific Northwest. Uzbekistan. So over in Canada or like Quebec, I'm assuming, or cool. That's fun. I don't know. That's so deep. Why did I make that one so deep? That's weird. Oh, Montreal. Cool. It'd be fun to. I visited Canada once as like a kid, and I have not been back in a long time. I think we went up. I just remember seeing a whole bunch of like. I think there was like some sort of. Oui, baguette, fromage. Excusez-moi, monsieur. Je comprends un peu de français. I took French in high school. I don't remember a lot of it, but je comprends un peu. I think there was like some sort of like tulip festival or something. That's better than most English speaking Quebecers. Not a lot of French in Quebec. I know that there's it's English and French in at least some parts of Canada, but there's multiple languages. But maybe when we can travel again, we'll have to. It's my. And now I'm trying to remember if my passport's up to date. I think it is, because I think it lasts for if you're over a certain age, it lasts for 10 years. But like I think it's like 16 or something, or 21, somewhere in there. If you're a kid, it only lasts for 5. I think probably because kids grow so fast, and so they're going to look completely different. But I'm trying to remember if my passport is still up to date. I did have to get one at one point. My family went on a cruise together a few years back. Had to have a passport for that, but I think it probably is. There's so many places in the world I'd love to travel to, though. But there's so many places even in the U.S. that I'd love to travel to. Let's see. Here in Quebec, you have two different people: English Quebecers who refuse to speak French in some weird political point they're trying to accomplish, and then the polar opposite with French wanting to ban all. With French wanting to ban all English. You're the third type. I'm assuming the third type is you know French and you really don't care. Or you don't know French and you really don't care. Oops, there's Fitz again. I hear the kitty cat outside the door. Perfectly bilingual, but you just want to build trains. You know, I feel like that is the most valid type of French English bilingual. Is yeah, I can speak both languages, but whatever. I'm just gonna build trains. Oh, this one has a weird funky bit on it too. Yeah, the whole last set of molds that I made have like they did the caps did a weird kind of bubbly thing. Not like bubbles, but like they domed weird. So I'm gonna need to remake a whole set of caps. I think I'm gonna work on that Monday. I play for both teams, Quebecer. There you go. There you go. Sounds like the rest of my chat. It has become somewhat of a joke that most of the people in my chat are lesbians for some reason. Although neither of my normal lesbians are here, I don't think. Unless Jen is still hanging out. But are you still hanging out, Jen? Are you still here? There, I need my there we go. There's one of them. I gotta have my chat lesbians. You're the lesbian singularity. I haven't heard from Teacup Beta in a while. Are they probably busy with school and stuff? But yes, it has become somewhat of a joke. LGBTQ plus, as long as there's room for trains. I think there's room for trains. Oh, yeah. I was wondering if maybe school was just getting to him. Oh yeah. No, I get that. I feel like I can kind of feel like some of my normal obsessions are dwindling a little bit. I'm like, oh no, what am I going to obsess over next? I mean, to be fair, at the moment I've had dice to obsess over. Just ask anybody that I talk to. I talk way too much about dice and or my current business model, but you might be falling down a Dimension 20 rabbit hole. I do think that I should listen to the Adventure Zone at some point, and probably watch Dimension 20 as well. But it's definitely. Let me give these a few petals in here. Let's see. I've found that I tend to like obsess over things while I can binge them, and then once I like catch up, I'm not as interested in that anymore almost. But like, so let's see. Critical Role was definitely something I was obsessing over for a while there. I still am to a certain extent. And then let's see. I was really into. Well, I still kind of am really into the DuckTales series, the new one. But that just got canceled. Let's see. Oh yeah, tell me what happened with your robot in the last D&D session, because you were just starting that character, weren't you? Um, but yes, let me shove some of these down in here, hopefully. Come on, just try and get some of this to the bottom. Should have put these in first because I probably would have floated. Okay, just a second here. I will read that in just a moment. I'm trying to work with this resin. I think actually I measured this out pretty well. Ah! Alright. Just a second. Let's see. Let me read Jen's thing first. Jen. In the same session, I had to battle the two champions of Muppet Gods. No, I'm not kidding. No, my DM voiced Kermit the Frog. And then nearly died as your robot character had to stop thinking of others and think of himself instead as they drowned in acid. Oh gosh. And let's see. How long do these silicone molds last? It kind of varies. This one's nearing the end of its life. I feel like, oh man, I'm bad at judging that sort of stuff. Are you talking like time-wise or numbers of dice-wise? Because I can probably do at least like 20 sets of dice in a set of molds. But oh, here's my rubbing alcohol. I'll spray it away from my tea. The nice thing about the rubbing alcohol is that it does not cause any sort of cure inhibition like water does. I still see a couple bubbles in here. Let that bubble get to the surface before I put lids on. I think I'd probably put a couple of these on. Just get them out of the way. This one looks pretty good. How's this one looking? Where is that? There's that one. This one looks pretty good. Let me just make sure that there's no giant bubbles on the lid, and also cat hair. There's always cat hair. Here, I'll show you what some of the molds in just a moment. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to be making some molds one of these weeks, but I'm waiting for the things to make the molds to come in. But here, I'll just show you in a moment. So these are the caps, and you can see here that they have one set of numbers on them. Yeah, these I got a set of like master dice made. So they have like it's basically just a set of 3D printed dice that I polished and has like my logo on it and stuff. And then what's that down all the way? Yeah, that looks good. I went and cast those, and then I made the lid for them. But yes, there's number. They have the full imprint of the dice on the inside, and then I have the lid that has just the last number on it. Let's see. You've been looking for an excuse to try out making CNC machined 2-part molds. Are you going to make are you making silicone molds, or are you going to make like the pieces to then create molds of? Like these are silicone, because at least for resin it works out well because it doesn't stick. It doesn't stick to the silicone. Let me pop a big bubble in here. Oh, build a multi-part polished aluminum. Okay. So yeah, there's a big bubble there. I'm trying to get all of those out of the wax. is in here. That is up, and I do not want that up. Looks like my keys are not locking in. There we go. Gotta have those keys lock in properly, or that's gonna be an issue. Yeah, these last for a while. I feel like the two-part definitely takes more polishing work, since you're going to end up with some extra. I can show you in a minute. Remind me once I'm finished pouring here, and I can show you the a set that I just pulled out towards the beginning of the stream, and what sort of cleanup there is with the two-part. But flashing, that was the word. There we go. So you know what you're doing. I don't know why I'm trying to explain this to you. Yeah, you end up with all sorts of flashing with the two parts. But okay, I have extra red, that's fine. We'll move on to these. Let me get all of the red off of my and this set's just gonna be for fun, see how it turns out. Let me grab. Hey, the inside of this is actually pretty clean. Let's use that. You're a tool, die, and mold maker by trade. Oh, okay, so you know what you're talking about. What are you asking me for? You know exactly what's going on. Alright, I'm just get some bubbles out of there. Yeah, this mold's ending the end of its life. And there's different silicones to use too. You wish you had workspace for resin. Yeah. That's fair. It does take some workspace. I'm very lucky in that I have the resources for this. I did, work. Until then, you're turbo supporting Liz. Hey, I am a-okay with this plan. But hey, if you start making dice, let me know. I'd love to check them out. If you get the space to do it, you could. If you just wanted to make a few sets, like if you didn't want to do, the scale that I'm working on, you might look into UV resin, and try it with that. I don't know necessarily how well it would work. You'd need clear molds, of course, but that might, it cures immediately, so you wouldn't have to worry about having, resin sitting all over the place as much if you did that. Oh, I shouldn't be telling you this because until then you're turbo supporting me, right? So just trying to find your next project. That'd be fun. Are you? So you're. What are you thinking of for your next project, Rex? Or do you have any ideas yet? You can do both. I am a bard. Oh, good. I did put this in the right one. I was really concerned for a second because I was like, oh no, did I put this in one where I'm going to be putting all of the flowers next to the low number? But no, I did. I put it in the correct one. We're okay. It really has been a wonderfully supportive community of people making dice. I feel like. I think part of it is because everybody likes dice. I feel like all the people that are making dice are people that want more dice, so they're more than happy to give other people tips and tricks because they're like, yes, you should make dice so that I can get more dice. I was looking for the next victim of some free molds to try. Make some small molds. What sort of molds are you thinking making? You said some aluminum ones, right? So what are you going to be casting in aluminum molds? That was what my brother and Dad were working on earlier today. They were setting up the oh man, I just blanked on what it's called. The white powder stuff that you put around the wax so that you can make a mold for metal. Investment. They're setting up the investment in the kiln and stuff so that they could cast well, actually, I think my brother is designing me a wax seal for Christmas that has my shop logo on it, and he handmade it and is planning on casting it tomorrow. Investment casting, yeah. I couldn't remember the word investment. But let's see. But so, different kind of mold making. Like I said, my whole family is crafty in different ways. Use that process for small train parts. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I feel like that would be useful for small things. Alright, let's get that bubble out of there. That's looking better. You just CNC everything. Just CNC life. There's some cool things with like that I've seen people do with the CNC. Like that's one of those things where I'm like, maybe someday that is something that I would enjoy having. Wait, CNC? Is that what I'm thinking of? CNC the one where you can like program it to cut things out for you? I'm thinking of the correct thing, right? I don't do a lot of large scale things, guys. Quite obviously. Okay, cool. I'm like, I should know this. My dad's a shop teacher. He's not this year because of COVID stuff, but I'm like, I should know this, but computer numerical control. Oh, okay. I never realized that's what it stood for. That makes sense. But yeah, that's one of those things where I'm like, it's one of those things that I absolutely do not need, but would be really cool to have, but I'm also not quite sure what I would do with it if I had it. Cause I'm just like, there's just a lot of cool things I feel like that could be done with it, like, I don't know, designing like boxes and stuff, or just little, I don't know. I could cut out things to make molds, like I could design my own trays and stuff, but I don't know that I would use it. You work as the CNC foreman at your company, so you need to ask, well, yourself for permission to use the machines for personal stuff. Wow, very nice. Yeah, you gotta ask so far up the chain. That's super nice though that you have access to one. It sounds like you really love your job, which is awesome. I am working to try and make this my full-time job. Where is this one going? Should we do this one on the D6? We'll do this one on the D6. I worked IT for 5 years, and then I finally quit about a year ago. Yeah, no, I had a good job. I was like salaried and everything, but I quit about a year ago so that I could go back to school and finish my degree. Because I had 3 classes left and I couldn't get any of them to line up with my work schedule. Also, I was just burnt out. I was just burnt out. I think part of it was just having undiagnosed ADHD, but that's a different story. And so I finished my degree in May, and since then it's been a little weird looking for work. Asked your supervisor once, he just said, well, they're your machines, you're in charge. Oh, sweet. That's nice. But yeah, I really enjoy making stuff. I love making stuff. It sounds like you do too, but obviously. But I am really enjoying working with resin and stuff, so I'd love to make this my full-time gig. Let's do this one in the D8, I think. Yeah, you do, yeah. That's awesome. It's definitely taken me like a while to figure out, like, I went off to school however many years ago. Uh, gosh, I went off to university 8 years ago, saying that I was going to go after engineering so that I could feed myself. And I did actually go to school I went to UW for a couple of years, and then I got an offer for the job that I had for 5 years. You're only 28 and you've moved up the ladder very quickly at your company. Oh, congrats. Well, it sounds like you're passionate about what you do, so it's not. Oops, oh dear, that is not good. For a second, I just broke that, but that's okay. We're just gonna shove that in there and hope for the best. Hopefully, there's no giant gaps, but okay. What was I saying? Oh, I have really enjoyed, one of the things is I just love not having to answer to anybody. That sounds kind of bad, but like, I don't feel bad taking breaks and stuff since I'm working for myself. It's really nice making my own schedule. And I also just love creating things. I like making things, and I like making things that like up for other people to enjoy. I like making things that have like a visual end too, because yeah. Let's see. So technically you're a manufacturing engineer, but they don't use that title because engineer equals pay increase. Yeah, I didn't actually end up graduating in engineering. I went to school with the plan to do engineering, and then I came back because I got my full-time job, and then I went back to school at a local college, and ended up graduating with a general science degree with a primary focus in mathematics and a secondary focus in applied technology, which in that case just means I took a whole bunch of engineering courses, but yeah. And then now I'm like, I don't necessarily want to use that for anything. I'd like to do arts and crafts, please. I would like to do arts and crafts, please. Alright, let me pour this. Alright, I'm gonna probably go quiet for a second here while I pour this, because I cannot think and pour things at the same time, or I make a giant mess. And I will bring back the example of the time I tried to pour hot water in my mug for tea, was looking at it, got distracted, thinking about something else, and completely poured hot water all over the counter while I was actively looking at it. Yeah, so I don't, that's why I don't talk when I'm measuring, especially. This is getting a little thick. I definitely need to get a move on. Alright. We're going to give these a second though, because they are... I need to let air escape. You can see some big bubbles here. They're popping up. Math plus U equals no. You know what you need for work, but that's it. That's fair. If you asked me to go do some, differential equations or calculus, I probably would have to go Google it. But maybe I won't be. I'm not going to do that because I forgot. Okay, we'll do that one last. It's just like running, unless there's someone chasing you or you're running from nuclear bombing. That is exactly what I've said in the past. I'm like, I'm not running unless something is chasing me. I am not a fan of running at all. I would I'm okay with like running if it's part of a game or something, but I don't like exercise for the sake of exercise. I'd much rather be active than exercise, I guess. Like, if I'm gonna play, capture the flag or something, sure, I'm gonna be running. If I'm just going for a jog, heck no. That's not my thing. Alright, there's that one. So do you do a lot of cooking, Rex? Because I see that it says chef. I don't do a lot of cooking. My brother is an excellent cook, though, which is very lucky for me since we live together. Oh no! Oh, see, I got distracted while pouring, and now I have resin everywhere. This is what I was talking about. Wait a second, it's just a mess. I love crafts that are a mess, though, so I'm more of a messy crafter. If you couldn't tell by my workspace. Yes and no. Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair. I wasn't sure if you, like, gave yourself that name because of a hobby or something, but I guess to be fair, mine is human disaster just because I am a human disaster, but it's not necessarily a hobby of mine. Well, it's kind of a hobby of mine, I suppose. Yeah, so this is about the rose petals because I need to have some of those in the next few. Yeah, this is definitely getting a lot thicker. Gotta get a move on. I did save this one for last, partially because I thought that maybe as it got thicker, it might help the rose petals suspend in it a little bit better. That's one of the reasons. And partially because, perfect actually, I'm putting all of the rose petals in here. So I'm going to use the last bit of resin, I think, with a full rose to put in the last one. Let me scoot this over so I don't put my arm in it. That's D20. Rex, because you're 5'5", and once you're trying to reach into a tall pickup truck bed and your little forearm's poking out, my buddy said, "Hey Rex," that's become your nickname. That's really funny. Like a T-Rex. Little arms. I have a big head and little arms. I just don't think this plan was very well thought out. That's fun though. I've always enjoyed nicknames. Not even necessarily nicknames for me, but just nicknames in general. I feel like they're fun. Sometimes, obviously, they're a little teasing, but like sometimes it's just kind of a funny inside joke with friends, even if it's a little teasing. There's something nice about that. And then everyone at your local training club calls you Rex. That's fun. Alright. Most nicknames are usually born. Exactly. You can't. Some of them are, based off of existing names. Like, I go by Liz because my full name's Elizabeth. But, like, the fun ones are the ones that come from something. This one was wholeheartedly born. I had a friend in high school that we called Taco. And I think the story behind it was that someone was wearing a hat, and he said, that hat makes you look like a taco, like his freshman year. And the other guy, it was literally just the other guy going, "You look like a taco," and then it stuck. And so he became Taco for the entirety. 4 syllables? Man, wait, what did I say that was 4 syllables? Wholeheartedly? Wait, how do you oh, Elizabeth. Yeah. I know, it's so long. I did actually, when I was younger, I went by Lizzie as when I was, like, in early elementary school. I changed it to Liz fairly quick, but I went by Lizzie for a while there, and Liz, and it literally was just so that I did not have to write as much, did not have to write as much on papers and stuff. Like, I did not want to have to write 9 letters. It was much easier to write 3. It really was just born out of laziness. But I mean, now at this point I'm just like, I feel more like a Liz than an Elizabeth. But no, when I was a kid and I was just deciding on that name, it was literally because it was 3 letters instead of 9. Alright. So much cat here. Steven! Yeah, so there's like, you can go by Steve, I guess. Rex is more fun though. The wholeheartedly born nicknames are more fun. I feel like I gotta go out and be more exciting. Well, I can't go out at the moment. Well, when I can see people again, I gotta be doing more exciting things so I can get myself a fun nickname. Alright, let's get these going. I should have given myself a fun screen name that didn't have my name on it, and then people would refer to me by that. No, I had to include my actual name. That's a joking sort of mock affront. I don't act mock affronted as much as I used to. That was a very weird way to say that too. Alright. I'm gonna let those sit for just a moment while I spread a little bit of resin on the caps. But I want the bubbles to travel to the surface. You can kind of see on the D20 the bubbles are moving their way up. They get caught in the flowers, so that's why I was dipping them beforehand and why I'm letting them sit for a minute before I pop all the bubbles on the surface. I don't have too much longer. This is definitely starting to get a little bit thick. So I can tell that I'm nearing more of the end of the work time, but still got a little bit of time. Alright, let me let those sit. I'm going to fill these in a little bit more. Manliz or Zaster. Uminol. Liza. I do actually have, now that I'm thinking about it, I do have a group of friends that have a nickname for me that was situational, but it was also based on my name, and they will call me Zilly. And that's because at one point we were figuring out our names backwards, and so my name backwards was Head of a Zilly, and so from that point on they called me Zilly. If I ever become some sort of like musical artist that just has one name, I'll go by that. Nevitt. Wait, Nevitt. Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't there an S somewhere? Okay, go back down in there. No, go back down in there. Alright, let me add some of this to the... I know. You gotta spell radar backwards, otherwise no one's gonna understand you. Yes, I do see that is a palindrome. Oh gosh. This is what I'm saying. My brain doesn't work while I stream. It doesn't work most days. But yes, race car. Oh man, what is that one? There's one I'm trying to think of. Taco Cat. Madam, I'm Adam. That's the one. There's another palindrome for you. Madam, I'm Adam. Is a palindrome. I like that one just because it's long. Alright. Let's put the last little bit of this into a mold. I don't know that I have enough for... Should I try and do a D20? Oh, that's a good one. Never odd or even. Some good palindromes. Let's do D4 with it. it, I guess. Just a moment here. I need another flower. I'm gonna do this for a moment. I grabbed some flower petal too. It's a bit sticky, but that's okay. There we go. We'll just grab those. Those are sticky. I probably shouldn't have grabbed those with my bare hand, but that's okay. I didn't want to get medicine all over that. If I can get these back on. Yeah. This isn't working great. You can't see me sticking my tongue out in concentration. There we go. Oh man, that's an old Instagram name. I forgot about that. Hey! Our Instagram names match. I should add something to my Instagram. It's been a while. I've been mostly focused on my business Instagram. I haven't posted pictures of my cats lately. You now shamelessly follow me. I'm A-okay with this. If it's my personal Instagram, you're mostly going to get pictures of my cats. Let's be honest here. They're the real stars of the show in my household. I did realize recently that I don't have any good like photos of me that like I don't have any good like recent photos of me. And I was like, I need you post photos of your trains. Oh, I knocked it over. Okay, just a second here. I'm making a mess, but I'm definitely interested to see your trains. And like I said, I have a friend that loves trains, so maybe I'll have to send him your way too. But you don't really have many photos of yourself. I have a few on Instagram. I don't have any like recent ones, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, I could use some recent photos of me, partially for business stuff, just as like profile pictures for things. I'm like, I need some fun photos of me, like I don't know, drinking a cup of tea in a tuxedo in the snow or something. I feel like that fits my both my personal aesthetic and my brand aesthetic. But I'm like, I don't have anything recent. It's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll have to go do a photo shoot in my backyard or something. There we go. I was gonna get my brother to come take photos for me the other day actually, and then I was like, I'm tired. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go sleep or something instead. I'll worry about photos a different day. So these are just little like crystal shaped D4 molds that I'm filling in right now. That I use as little bonus things. I got a little bit of extra. I'll pull out another D4. There's the one I like or the one I don't like. Can't remember. Your only face photos represent you pretty wholeheartedly. Yeah, what do I have on my Instagram? I feel like the ones on my Instagram represent me fairly well. Yeah. It's kind of fun going back and looking at some of the old photos that I've taken too, because there's definitely like a photo of me in high school probably playing trombone in a tree, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like I need to bring back this aesthetic. This is very this is very much my brand. I gotta bring back the aesthetic of me playing trombone in a tree. Alright, finish that one. This one. There it is. Yeah, I'm definitely nearing the end of the pot life here. I actually had more leftover resin than I thought I would, considering I figured I needed some extra for the red one, and I was only going to have 10 extra. I guess 10 milliliters is actually a lot of extra resin now that I'm thinking about it. I'm going to do a lot with 10 milliliters of resin. I feel like a little bit of resin goes a long way. Like the 30 milliliters that I use for dice doesn't look like a lot in a cup, but it is kind of a lot compared to like other things that I might make, like jewelry and stuff. It's definitely kind of interesting to think about. Okay, let me set this down here. Let's get a spray bottle. Get some of the bubbles off the top of these. Again, this is just rubbing alcohol, breaks the surface tension, and pops the bubbles that are on the surface. If it'll actually come out. There we go. Make sure there's no giant bubbles here. Cherry brandy? Vodka? What? What about the alcohol? Oh, yes. Maybe don't drink this alcohol unless you want to go blind. Maybe don't drink the rubbing alcohol. Maybe not. Besides, I'm more of a whiskey person myself. I don't drink a lot. I figure my brain chemistry's messed up enough as is. I'm not gonna tempt fate. I do like a good, like, old-fashioned too. That's probably my favorite way to have whiskey. I do like just whiskey, but I like a good old-fashioned with whiskey and bitters and a little sugar. You're good enough in your own brain. There you go, that's fair. I'll have a drink every once in a while, but I don't drink all that often. Most things it's like I don't necessarily like the taste of alcohol, so I'm like, I'd rather just have something that tastes good to me. Okay, let's see here. I'm probably going to end up with some air bubbles in this, but oh well. Let me make sure that this lid's on correctly. And there's a set I was polishing earlier today. I think the lid was not on correctly because the numbers were off. Alright. This actually works out kind of. Let me look at all these. Oh, this is not. Put these all next to each other. Yeah, I'm definitely nearing the end here. That is the lid for my... Ah, no wonder I couldn't find the lid. It's that one. This is very, very thick. I can tell I'm at the end. But I need to get these all in one spot so that I can spray them all down. Because they definitely have bubbles. Right. Thick, yes, with a whole bunch of seeds. It's that kind of thick. I might have to manually pop some of these because it's not perfect. Alright, wait a second here. I'm going to manually pop some of these bigger bubbles because it is thick enough that it's not really breaking the surface tension all that well. So I'm going to do this by hand just for some of these bigger ones. Shouldn't be too big of a deal with the smaller ones because these are going into a pressure pot. and that should compress the small ones, but alright, let me put these on the thing. I just want to make sure these are lined up. There we go. Stack the D12s here. I feel like the only really annoying part with streaming dice making is that no one gets to see how they turned out until like the next day at the very earliest. This is the one. I might need to put something on top of it. Put a D4 on top of it. Well, that varies, I feel like. If I always lose things. You know, I feel like I don't lose things as often as I should necessarily. But part of that, in this case, is that I was saying earlier, I put off starting like the resin and stuff. Like it took me an hour to get everything set up to actually pour resin. And part of that is just because I take forever going, okay, do I have everything that I need? Like, way too much probably, before I actually start. So, I don't usually lose things, I just overthink things far too much to do that. But, do I have this on backwards? No, I think I have this on correct. Yeah, that's not correct. It's just weird. It's like thick, so the cap's not going down very well. I might need to put some sort of weight on top of these. I got some rocks. Oh, there's a hair. Another cat here. Just a second here. Here, just a second here. Just a second here, and I will answer questions. Let me try and get these on first. Normally the dice are not too bad weighting wise, and I usually try to get things that have any sort of different density towards the center. I do have a set that I am a commission set, this for Bosun, who left earlier, that I can tell is going to be weighted, but I'm not quite sure how, because we're putting a metal chain in it. But they seem to at least roll, different numbers, which is something. Just a second, let me grab some rocks and weigh this down. I think I have a little thing on. Yeah. I have some rocks here. These will work. Let's see. But for the most part, no die is, perfectly balanced, but I do try my best to make them playable. That's the main thing. These aren't super heavy, but they should at least kind of hold things down a little bit, keep them from rising up. I'm going to try and avoid getting, I like that one. Try and avoid getting too much resin on these, but alright. Let's see. Wait a second. Yeah, so for the most part, I try to not I try not to use too much of something or things that are too different in density. So like I'll use pigments more than I will use like rocks or something like that. In this case, they might be a little bit, but I'm hoping that the resin will kind of permeate these enough that it won't be too different in density from the resin itself. I noticed that some of them were kind of floating and some of them weren't, which is actually a good thing, I think. Because I think they were only floating because there was still some air bubbles trapped in them, and so when I pressurize them, they will hopefully have roughly the same density as the resin. They won't obviously, but they won't be enough of a difference to cause a problem. Give me just a second. I'm going to throw this in the pressure pot, and then I will be right back to answer some questions. Yeah, this. Oh gosh. Let's get this on this. Here, I'll leave an angle, but I'll angle the camera so you can see what I'm doing over here. So I'm putting these in a pressure pot. What this does is I put it under like 35 psi of pressure, 40. I usually do about 40 psi of pressure, and it takes all of the air bubbles and it squeezes them until they are so small that you can't see them, and it makes the dice. Just a second. It makes it so that they're nice and crystal clear, so you can see all the things on the inside, which is great for stuff like this where I'm doing like a clear resin and you want to be able to see all the little pieces on the inside. And it also hopefully makes it so that I don't end up with a whole bunch of bubbles at the top, which would make them definitely unweighted. I do try to, of course, still pop, especially big bubbles, because if I leave those in, they might cause a gap to occur. But that is why I loaded so much extra resin onto the top and also onto the lid, was because when those bubbles get compressed, they you have to have resin to fill in that space. All right. I'm going to go quiet again while I watch this. So there, that's at 40 psi, and we'll stay that way for until they're cured in about 24 hours. Usually I pull them out. How did I get resin on my finger? Usually I'll pull them out a couple hours before that. But that's usually the time frame on that. But anyways, here. There we go. We can just go to me. You don't need to see my messy workspace anymore. Unless I was going to show something off. Oh, here, I'll show you these dice. I was showing them off at the beginning. I'm going to need to change a couple things, but see, these are going to be weighted because they do have a metal chain in them. And I know this, and the person who commissioned them also knows this. But, so, as long as the person who's getting them realizes that. I feel like it's not necessarily the best thing to be like, hey, how did this random chemical get on my hands? But at least it's just resin in this case. Nothing that's gonna... I do soap making too, and I work with lye for that one, so I'd much rather get resin on my hands than lye. Don't want any chemical burns. But anyways, I'm probably going to head out for the night, unless you have any other questions. I'm happy to answer those before I sign off. But I've finished my dice, so got the things done that I wanted to get done. But sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide. I think you can use potassium hydroxide for a different kind of soap, maybe. But for the bar soap that I use, it's sodium hydroxide. Oh, potassium is crazy. Maybe you can't use potassium. What do I have? I have something different that I think is used for making liquid soap. I don't remember what it is. Yeah, you don't want to confuse the two. I think it does something crazy if you use potassium hydroxide for the kind of soap that I make. But still, you know, I still don't want to get sodium hydroxide on me either. I had a friend over to make soap, just to try it out and stuff. And the way you do it is you mix up a whole bunch of oils in one container, and you mix up lye and water in a different container, and then you want them to get to about the same temperature before you mix those together. And we went and we added the lye, or because you ought to add acid to water, yeah. We added the lye to the water, and it got up to like 180 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it got very hot. And the friend that was with me was like, I never really thought about the fact that chemical burns are literally burns, because it's like, yeah, you don't want to get this on your skin because it will react and it will be very, very hot. But it was just funny. But anyways, maybe I'll have to do soap making at some point on stream. I've been talking about that, but have to get it figured out. But have a good night, everybody. It was nice talking to you, Rex. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully we can chat again some other time. And everybody else that's still hanging out, hope you have a good night too. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.